Welcome, everybody, to Inside Hollywood on the Hudson. I'm your host, Michele, and I'm here with Growing with Gorga, their first event of many to come. I'm looking forward to interviewing a bunch of people here, including Joe Gorga, mastermind of this fantastic event. And the crowd is pretty large, and there's a lot of people here. So let's get started.
You guys took the risk for me to come here today. You trusted me on my first event. I love you.
We're here at Growing with Gorga and Joe Gorga. Hi, Joe. How are you?
Very good, and how are you?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here. This is an amazing event. You have a packed house here.
Thank you very
in
much.
Jersey City, right?
Yep.
So tell us how you came up with the concept of this. Like, this is all like very interesting, and I know you've been in real estate for a very long time. But how did you come up with this platform? Because this is like very unique, and there's really not anything like it out here. And I think that's really why you have a lot of interest with the public.
Right. Well, I just feel like I want to give back, and it's my opportunity to show people that how to get into real estate, and not just real estate, but to motivate them. It's a motivational speaking. My book's about motivation, and just to be a good man or a good person in life. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you're not a good person in life and you don't give back and you don't network, whatever, you're nothing. So this is why I did this event. I mixed in real estate, motivation, and just relationships and loving. So it's a little different than what everyone else is doing. But this is who I'm about. This is what I'm all about. Sorry, I'm a little.
No, that's okay. No, there's a lot going on here today.
I'm trying to listen if they're saying the right stuff and trying to talk.
He's watching you guys.
I'm watching behind me.
So do you think like your work ethic has anything to do with your parents being immigrants and coming here from Italy, and your dad working so hard to raise you guys?
100%.
Yeah. I'm Italian as well, and I have immigrant parents as well, and I feel like you're a go-getter if you are presented with that opportunity. And I know that my parents told me from day one, you have every opportunity because we came here.
Right.
So what can you tell our viewers about that aspect of your life?
Well, listen, it all depends on you, who you are as a person, and if your mindset. I know immigrant parents that have, their kids that are a disaster. They are, because their mindset is wrong. It's you as an individual have to fix this, and you have to be focused. And if you're focused and you want to be somebody in life, you create your own drive. I know my father was on me, and he told me how to get up and go to work, and he made me have jobs, and he put a lot of time into me. But it's all I wanted to do it in my head, so it's got to be in your mind. Okay?
Do you put that kind of influence on your children?
I do.
You
do. And I do it through sports right now because they're still young, and we live in a different age.
Agreed.
It's a different world now. We can't send them out to work at 9 when I started working.
I was 11, so I know how you feel.
If I sent my son out today at 9 years old, I said, I go deliver papers. He'll look at me like, Dad, what are you doing to me? But
going diapers.
But I do it through sports and school.
Okay.
I tell them school is your job.
I tell my kids that too. That's
right.
crazy.
And sports is your job. Sometimes they say to me, "No, do I have to go to practice tonight?" Yeah, that's your job. If you don't go to practice, you're not going to be able to pay your bills. So that's how I work with it. And I'm trying to make my kids strong-minded, very secure, and very powerful through sports. So.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
I know that your book. Let's talk a little bit about that. It was written by yourself.
Yep.
Tiki Barber, did he write it alongside you?
No, he just put it forward in the book.
Oh, he just put forward in the book. Okay.
Yeah.
And what made you decide to reach out to Tiki Barber for this type of this is your first book, so it's kind of, your forward is actually pretty important.
Right.
So I was just curious about that.
Well, he inspired me as just a person in life, and his work ethic through sports, and little guy that made it in the NFL.
Yeah.
And that's what I respected about him, and that's why I asked him to be the forward, and he gave me the respect.
what do you think is the most important message that your book should really like teach people?
Wow, well, there's a lot of messages, but the most important message is you have to be a good person in life, no matter who you are. That's number one. And don't stop. Every door that closes, another one opens. And my analogy is, think about if you're playing in the NFL, and a couple feet in front of me is the touchdown, and I get the football, and I'm going to keep on running, and you're getting hit from every angle, left, right. You got guys on top of you. Don't give up. Score that touchdown. Do you understand that analogy?
No, I do understand that
because
analogy.
in real estate's up, it's down. Some property, you lose money, but you're always going to make more money. Just don't give up.
Now, it's funny because like this real estate stuff really comes at a time when, the market is actually kind of on the high where, it's selling high. And I remember a long time ago, about 10, 15 years ago, when Donald Trump was saying when everybody was giving out mortgages, they were giving out mortgages like they were giving out candy, right? And I remember Donald Trump said that he did not buy one piece of property in that time frame.
Right.
What can you say about the market right now in terms of?
Well, here's how I buy property and I cherry pick it. So I don't own hundreds of buildings. I own 13 in 24 years because I cherry pick them. I pick the right ones.
What do you consider the right ones?
The right ones that, the numbers have to make sense.
Okay.
I don't get involved in where the rat race is.
Okay.
If you understand.
I understand.
Like the Hudson County, Hoboken, New Jersey. I don't get involved in that everybody wants it. I'm on the outskirts where people don't know the new and up-and-coming areas. That's what I jump in. I stay in the outskirts. I don't jump in where everybody's partying. I get out of the party.
He's out of the party. He's on the sidelines.
That's right.
So what's next for you right now? I know this is your first event. Do you have another one followed up?
We're negotiating now. We're dealing with London, UK.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're going to be traveling?
Traveling. London, UK, Chicago, Boston, Philly, Atlanta. I think we got something in Long Island. Oh, yeah, we're gonna make this happen. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I mean, it seems like you have a broader idea, not just in the real estate, but really just kind of creating this brand of growing with Gorga. And I could just see a whole bunch of different things kind of evolving from this. Is that something?
And that's what it is. It's not just about real estate. It's about mindset. It's about being a good person in life, being family people, respecting others, real estate, a little bit of everything. I'm trying to combine everything in one.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of you. I think that's fantastic. And I think that, it's really nice to know that people are out there that are nice and want to help other people succeed. And I think that that's really great.
Do you know how good it felt today that I've had so many people come up to me and said, I want to buy my first house at 55 years old. They say to me, you think it's too late? I said, no.
Never.
I said, if you can make $3,000 profit on that house, will that change your life? They looked at me and said, oh my God, will it? It will.
Yeah.
Okay. That $3,000 a month is their retirement for the rest of their lives. And, I motivated, I think, hundreds of people today, and that feels good to me.
That's awesome.
That's a deal. I'm making not $1 on that. I don't care. But if I can motivate just one person, I'm happy.
That's fantastic.
That's it. That's
Joe, I can't thank you enough for sitting here with us and,
Thank you.
Letting all our viewers know about this great event. And please keep us posted on everything else that's happening. I think you can purchase your book here today, obviously, but Amazon. Okay, so you can purchase it on Amazon. Go ahead,
Amazon.
tell them.
Yeah, Amazon.com, and it's there live, and you can go on my Instagram, Joey Gorga, and it's you can get off a link right off Instagram.
All right, Joe, thank you so much. I know you're so busy here, and I don't want to keep you, but I appreciate the time, and thank you for coming to Inside Hollywood on the Hudson. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Voting by mail has never been easier. Just follow these steps to ensure your vote will be counted. Open your envelope. You will find your certificate, return envelope, and official ballot. When casting your ballot, use only a pencil, black, or blue ink, not red. Completely fill in the oval to the right of each selection. When writing in, do not repeat a name printed on the ballot. If torn or damaged, your vote will not be counted. Fold your ballot and place it in the pocket of the certificate before sealing it with the adhesive strip. Do not detach the strip and paper from the certificate. Fill out the required information on the certificate and don't forget to sign. If you are not mailing or delivering your ballot in person, make sure both you and the bearer of the ballot sign your name and address on the certificate and return envelope. After that, just place it in the mailbox and your vote will be counted. For more information, you can visit our website at www.hudsoncountyclerk.org or www.hudsoncountyNJ.org.
Hudson TMA reminds you that bikes these days come in a wide variety of styles and sizes. Here are a few tips to follow when selecting a bike for your child or yourself.
Getting a bike that fits makes it easier and safer to handle and much more enjoyable to ride. Make sure there's an inch or two between you and the top tube on a road bike. And on a mountain bike, you want the clearance to be more like 5 inches to make it easier and safer to get off the bike on rough terrain. Adjust your seat height so there's a slight bend in your knee when your foot is on the pedal in the downmost position.
Hudson TMA reminds you that a helmet can only protect your head if you wear it. Take a tip from Elizabeth and Xander.
So just think of your helmet as part of your gear. You don't see a soccer player without shin guards.
You don't see a basketball player without shoes.
You don't ride your bike without your helmet. It's part of the gear.
Let's take a look at proper helmet fit. The size of a helmet is very important. It should fit comfortably without rocking from side to side. The helmet should fit level on your head and low on the forehead, no more than 1 or 2 finger widths above the eyebrow. Adjust the lengths of the straps so that the buckle is centered under the chin. Side straps should be adjusted so that they form a V shape under and slightly in front of the ears. Lock the slider if possible. Buckle the chin strap and tighten it until snug. No more than 1 or 2 fingers should fit under the strap. Lastly, make sure the helmet is secure and doesn't rock back and forth. If a big yawn doesn't pull the helmet down on your head, tighten the chin strap.
The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning, life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together.
We're back live from inside Hollywood on the Hudson, and I'm here with Mike Figler, right? Except for, what's your middle name?
Michael Ray Figler.
Michael Ray Figler.
Some people know me as that, yes. Previous music industry name.
Oh, what was that for?
Oh, years ago, my first career was actually in the music industry. I was a DJ and producer in Manhattan for a couple of record labels in the house industry before I got into real estate.
For house music?
Yeah.
Yeah, all night
99. Showing my age.
Aren't we all, right? So tell me a little bit about, you're here today, you're supporting Joe Gorga. This is like his new platform. Tell us a little bit about how you're involved and a little bit about yourself.
It's actually an interesting story. So I've been in the real estate industry for quite some time, actually, coming out of the music industry. This was like my segue in. And so many years back, through one of the people I was affiliated with, which is actually one of the hosts of the event Flip Starters, they kind of pulled me in. I started off flipping homes and grew a couple different companies that were ancillary to real estate, management, investment, construction development. So over the years, I met Joe years back. And, Joe and I have been involved with a couple different transactions and friends and things like that. And ironically, he made a bit of an impression on me years ago at a poker game where he had jumped off, taken a call. And at that point, I was flipping homes. And that was just when I stepped up my company next level because he was doing the multi-millions. And I was a kid at that time. I was 25, 26. So fast forward, that's kind of why Joe invited me to come out here. I built a couple companies in the real estate space, among other spaces and other industries, and somewhat of a bit of entrepreneurial sense, and I wanted to come and give my expertise and help out when they asked me.
That's so cool.
It's been fun.
Yeah. So, huge success?
Yeah, sold out.
You might say so, right?
Yeah, I would say so for sure, especially in such short notice. You know how Joe is. He says you got to have balls, and he certainly did on this.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what else is it that you're, I know you do some real estate, and what else are you working on these days?
As I mentioned, I'm kind of in a couple industries, so I got my hands in a couple pots. I'm an advisor to a couple publicly traded companies. I've been involved with advocacy. I sit on the board of directors for the New Jersey Cannabis Association. I've been involved as an advisor on a biotech company. I'm all over the place. I have a lot of interests, and I've been having a lot of fun. And real estate actually gave me the ability to have that freedom to kind of jump around and put my expertise into other industries.
That's fantastic.
So, and be able to, to be involved even on a state level in advocacy right here in New Jersey has been really cool.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming to Inside Hollywood on Hudson, and
for having me.
congratulations on your huge successful event here. And I'm sure there'll be many more, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, cool.
Thank you so much.
Right? Every day is a risk. You get it, that's a big risk. Damn right. Every day you get in a car, right? That's a risk. You drive, that's a risk. Anything you do today is a risk. But I want to teach you how to build legacy, so you don't have to work as hard. Okay? 'Cause every day you go to work, it's hard, but you got to save that time.
We're back with Vicki Lorena, one of the masterminds behind Growing with Gorga. Vicki, thanks for sitting with us today and telling us a little bit about your role here and some of the things that you're working on with the Growing with Gorga team.
Yeah. So I was asked to join the team, and I didn't know what to expect, to be very honest. But I really enjoy watching the process unfold, and all of us we're put under pressure and to making this happen. And as you can see, we have a full house. We've actually exceeded the number of attendees that we expected.
That's fantastic.
And the type of people that are here, I love it. There's a hybrid mix of business professionals, of entrepreneurs, of real estate agents, developers, investors, college students that really are hungry to learn and grow. And I think more than just coming to the event to see Joe Gorga, it's really about building a network. And when you come to the event and you're sitting down, you're listening to these speakers and you're listening to their story, you become so involved in like, I want to be part of that. Like, what are they doing? I want that. So it's been a fun experience putting this together.
What role did you play in the Growing with Gorga? I mean, I know you said you were brought in. I know you said you were working with some sponsors.
Yeah. So I was in charge of sponsorship outreach. So it's reaching out to the sponsors, making sure that I communicate the value of the event. And as I told all the sponsors, and I share now, the value is not within the table or a business card or a brochure, right? Everyone can have a table, a business card, and a brochure. But the value as a sponsor really comes with building a relationship with Joe Gorga and his team, building a relationship with flip starters and the entire team, the connections that you will make at the event. That's what distinguishes you from a regular member compared to the sponsor.
That's fantastic. Well, congratulations on your
Thank you.
success. We're so happy to be here
Thank you
and
so
for
much.
you guys to have such a successful day.
Thank you so much.
That's
Thanks.
it. Bye-bye, guys.
We have to be able to police ourselves because we don't want anybody to tarnish our badge.
When internal affairs complaints are not handled properly, the public may believe that most officers commit crimes, when in fact that's not true. Most officers are professional.
If complaints aren't taken properly and the community that we serve doesn't have a trust in the police department, I mean, there has to be legitimacy. If the community doesn't trust the police, how could we effectively serve them? And by having a really comprehensive internal affairs unit that handles the complaints properly and people have trust in the system, it enables us to do our entire job as a police department much better.
We need the community as much as they need us. So that citizen that has lost trust in the community could be a very important witness for us tomorrow.
Introducing the MyJCMC app, powered by Practice Unite. The free MyJCMC app puts the power of healthcare at your fingertips. Go to the concierge for access to referrals, scheduling, and appointments, see emergency room wait times, and get directions to Jersey City Medical Center health locations. Read the latest JCMC news through their social media feed, find a doctor, and more. The MyJCMC app. We belong to you.
Hudson TMA reminds you that a bicycle is considered a vehicle. When you ride a bike, you must obey the rules of the road.
Ride single file in the same direction as traffic. Obey traffic signs and signals. Signal your turns and look behind you before you turn, and always stay alert.
I'm here with Jeff Van Note. We were not able to actually sit down at your event. You were so busy.
Yeah.
The Grow with Gorga event.
Busy day.
Busy day. Millions of people all
Yeah.
over the place.
Yeah.
Millions of vendors all over the place. Let's talk a little bit about how you got involved in that program and you know, what your relationship with Joe Gorga is.
Yeah, Joe's a totally just a great guy. You know, total family man, loves his wife to death, loves his boys to death. And I thought I was on my A game. Like, I've never met somebody that matches my intensity consistently, right? You have somebody that comes like a one-hit wonder once a week. That's not Joe. I'm talking about every day for about 2 months straight. I would wake up to multiple calls and text messages from Joe before I even woke up. They're already in my phone. His work ethic is second to none. And when he wants something done, he's persistent, but he's respectful, right? A lot of people, when they want something done, they just, you know, run forward full speed and, you know, reckless abandon. That's not him. He finesses what he wants to get done, and, you know, people love working with him. So he's totally a great guy, and it was a pleasure, you know, doing the event with him. I met Joe in 2013 when one of my very good friends bought a shore house right next to his down the Jersey Shore, and we never talked business. We talked a couple things here and there. You're in real estate. I'm in real estate and loans, and yeah, I got a call this past January. And he's like, hey, I want to, you know, start getting heavier into the fix and flip game, and, you know, let's start raising some money. So we actually thought of putting a fund together where we could have average people, average Joes, if you will, be able to have some type of exposure or investment into real estate. And the next thing you know, 3 months down the road, we're putting on, you know, an 800-person real estate seminar.
Wow, it was
crazy,
pretty significant.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that were there were really invested in sitting down, taking notes,
Sure.
writing everything down that all the speakers had to say. They were inspired. I think it was really well put together, and it showed by the attendance and the people that were there. How difficult was it for you to put together such an, you know, it was a very big event.
Sure. Yeah, I think preparation is key to anything.
Yeah.
Right. And I can't take all the credit for it. I can take credit for the early on ideas, and they took a life of their own. It was a lot because you have a lot of people, a lot of personalities, and we only gave ourselves a 45-day window to put on the event. So like when we booked it at the end of January,
Okay.
we were like, all right, March 23rd. We're like, well, it's January 22nd, or whatever the date
Yeah,
was
yeah,
at the
yeah.
time, right? So, you know, most people plan these things out in months. They curate the content, they curate the audience, and I'm like, no, if we're going to do this, we're going to push, and I guarantee it's going to turn out to be successful. You know, like when you have anybody, you know, too many chefs in the kitchen never works out. But everyone was able to play nice and bring their own real true strength to the table, so everyone could, you know, put on a good show for everybody. And back to you, like, you know, people taking notes. People really want to learn. Not only do they want to learn, but they want to learn from people that have done it, right? Like anyone can go out there and teach a book that they read, but they want to be dealing with people that do it day in and day out, are successful at what they do, have a track record of what they do. And someone with Joe and his, you know, relationships, it's just an invaluable experience to even be a part of with him.
Yeah. I mean, when I sat down with Joe, he really pressed upon the fact that he's not purchasing in Jersey City. He's not purchasing in Hoboken. He really was naming other towns that sort of had, you know, less appeal right now.
Yep.
What do you think about that?
I agree with that, truthfully, and it's always been my model. So I've always been the guy. Now I'm not a real estate guy. You know,
Right.
I'm a real estate money guy, right? So I see things a little bit differently. Now with that, I've had 10 properties and I've had no properties, and depending on the market and what the trends I see are, I'll either keep or sell, right? It's really what the game comes down to. People today, smart money, are looking for value-added proposition plays. So if you can go and buy 5 properties for $200,000, right? You're better off doing that in a depressed area that could be up and coming, rather than buying $1 million property in Hoboken. So, you know, now it's not for everybody. You're primary resident owner that wants to live with their wife and kids or their fiance is going to buy the $1 million property in Hoboken, right?
Right.
But they have their jobs where they earn from. So from a real estate standpoint, yeah, buying in areas that are up and coming is absolutely always the way to go, especially in this part of the cycle in the market.
Joe also talked about moving into other states, and what do you recommend about that?
So the biggest topic in real estate right now is the opportunity zones. Again, based on when I started in 2007, I could tell you that 99% of the people that made money in New York, 99% that I knew, took their money that they made, let's say they made $1 million. They went to Philadelphia, which is out of state. It was the hot, cool, trendy thing. Everyone was doing it, right?
Mhm.
And we know what happens when everyone follows,
Right.
You know, they all went there. Not only did they lose 100% of their money that they invested, that they made from New York, they lost double that. So my thing is, like, if you don't know it, you don't do it. Now, that's my model because remember, I'm not a real estate guy. There's opportunities everywhere. I just think, again, based on what I saw when I first started my career and the cycle where we're at, I don't know if that continues. And if it does, it's going to be like, how long does it take to actually see a profit from it? So different models, different theories. I'm not right. He's not wrong. I'm not wrong. It's just a different business model and perspective. Also, I look at it as, you know, I own properties in the Bronx. When I moved back to Jersey, just driving, 30 minutes to the Bronx to pick up rent or fix an issue, a leak, it was such a pain in the butt for me, right? Now, if you have a property in Tennessee or in Florida or in Texas, unless you have a solid management company that you could trust, to me, that seems more of like a liability than it does a reward.
Definitely a struggle.
Yeah.
I definitely have a property, and
So you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You're like, the toilet's not flushing. Uh-oh. What do I do?
So that's fantastic. Do you have any plans to do another big seminar with them?
There are some talks in the works. Like anything else, it's got to be done the right way, and you got to make sure you're bringing valuable information. So we were thinking about potentially doing another seminar followed by a boot camp or some type of educational platform following it, where we can actually have a follow-up to what we teach day one. The problem is people come in day one, they spend money on a ticket, they're like, I didn't get any bang for my buck, I didn't get my values worth. We want to make sure that people are aware of fully what they're getting, fully transparent, and then giving them the option. It's all about the follow-up and the consistency to the follow-up. I can't tell you, I probably got hundreds and hundreds of like direct messages on Instagram, and that's where I was busy that day. People were like, hey man, I bought a ticket, can I meet you? Hey, can I bought, I brought my kid, can I come introduce you to my high school kid? And that's what I spent most of my time doing that day. So we want to make sure that we're hitting all the target audience and making sure that we're able to follow through with our promises we're making.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I stayed for your seminar, and you did a fantastic job, and you really just, I think, are able to really lead a crowd and inspire them, and I think that's really great.
Yeah, I think authenticity in this business is absolutely key. There's so many people out there that are pretenders that got lucky. From where I started, when I started, at the age I started, I think the more value is taking a cautious, real approach and helping people truly be educated on the process.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming and sitting down with us today.
Yeah, sorry we didn't get to talk that day.
I know, me too. I was kind of bummed, but I'm
Yeah.
happy that I got you here and that we
Awesome.
were able to really talk about the event, and and look forward to working with you in the future.
Likewise.
Future events. It's a very successful event. Looking forward to the next time at Inside Hollywood in the Hudson. Take care. Bye-bye.